Setting up my meeting. Good morning. I think we have made it live to Facebook. That is awesome. So I am so excited to be here this morning with Nicci. Okay, is it Renouard? Did I say it right?
Yes.
I know there's probably, like you said, a French way to say it, but that's how us Texans will say it. I am going to let people hop on. I'm going to grab my little energy right here real quick. Suck this down.
Good.
Water. All the good stuff. And of course, a little calm CBD because we got to be focused. So yeah, good. We're good to go. I am Lori Gasca. Welcome to Soup to Nuts Girl Boss Conversations. And this was generated and created because I wanted an outlet for women in business, women in ministry, women in missions, or whatever your passion was, to have a platform to share that with hopefully the world, right? We hope everybody's watching. And Soup to Nuts just seems to cover it because we are going to cover everything on these conversations from Soup to Nuts. And today I'm with Nicci, who is with WHOlives. I want to tell you a little bit about the space that I'm coming from, though. You're watching us live on the Woodlands Grove Workspace Facebook page. And we are a workspace, a collaborative shared workspace, whatever you want to call it by definition. Those are popping up all over the place now, and especially since no one really can go into their office and work, this is a great alternative because you can come and get a little privacy away from home, have good Wi-Fi. But we are a little different because we are primarily focused on serving the woman entrepreneur and really empowering her to succeed in whatever that looks like, whether it's just collaborating with other like-minded women or having a place to bring some clients in that's professional instead of grabbing the booth at Panera or the coffee shop or wherever and having a really professional place to come. I know when I used to do that and I used to go work in those places, Wi-Fi would be sketchy. You don't know who's listening. You don't know if you can get a table. And so it just takes all that guesswork out of it by coming here to the Grove. You can do a daily drop-in rate. You can do a weekly membership. You can do a monthly membership. You can do a 6-month or a year. We've really tried to make it where it would benefit pretty much anyone. You can find more information on our website at thewoodlandsgrove.com. Is that it? Yeah, I think so. thewoodlandsgrove.com. But that is not why we're here today. We're here to find out more about your story and about your organization, WHOlives. And let me just tell you, the world is crazy right now. Like, that's no shock to anybody, no secret. And I just kind of feel like when I feel like my life is going off rails and I can't control anything, if I take the focus off of me and I put it onto someone else and how I can serve, it just seems to make everything else just kind of fall into place. So I think it's so appropriate that you're our guest today, given I'm sitting in Texas and we have a hurricane that's coming our way.
Oh my gosh.
we need some good news. We need some good news.
Yeah, we do.
You're coming to us from Utah, right?
Right.
Beautiful, beautiful Utah. I'm just going to jump right in and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your story and how WHOlives got started, because you call yourself an ordinary average family, but you're really not ordinary. I mean, you guys, you may have started out as ordinary, but you did what most ordinary people don't, and you took the step to go where you felt like God was leading you. And that's kind of all she wrote. Like, it's just been amazing.
What a journey. Yes. Well, hi, everybody. I am just so happy to be here today. I mean, anytime I can talk to friends is a great day for me. And anytime I can put a little makeup on to work in the basement, which is the world headquarters of WHOlives, is just a wonderful day. So I'm super excited to be here. So our story began about 2007 when my husband came home and said, you know what, we got to move. We were living in Washington State. We were a very small community, very close knit community. My husband John was coaching the football team. I was teaching school. We got to move. And so there were tears. And we did it. We moved to Utah without realizing why, just understanding that John, is a leader of our family, and he knew that we needed to come. So we came. And my oldest son, who's now 32, dates me, but
That's okay. I'm not far
it's
behind
okay.
you.
I know we're all good,
Yeah.
but he was called as a missionary. He was called to Kenya and Tanzania in 2007. And I was pretty shocked. I didn't think that white middle class boys go to Africa to serve
Mine
missions.
has.
Yours did? Oh, awesome.
He's
Oh my
not living
gosh,
there, but
that's
he's been there a couple
incredible.
of times for missions. So yeah,
Oh, wow.
definitely.
Wow. Well, he was there during a time of unrest where the Hutsis and the Tutsis were fighting each other, and he had malaria a couple times. And I determined that I was going to go back and see what he had experienced. So we went back. So John and I and another son went back for a 3-week tour of Kenya and Tanzania. And while we were there, our mouths were just like open, like, because the people with their beautiful clothing. We had never seen such extreme poverty before.
Mhm.
We had never experienced the animals, in the lions in the trees, the giraffes, the wildebeest. And all around us, we saw people carrying jerry cans. And it was 2009. We're like, why? Why do people still carry jerry cans? Why do they still have to go collect water? And so we came back home, and John noticed that there was a brick making project going on at our local university here, Brigham Young University. And so he made a phone call in to inquire about that, because we thought, you know what, we can help. We're okay. We can help.
Sure.
We can make bricks and build houses. And so, anyways, 2.5 months went by, and John woke up in the middle of the night and jumped out of bed. He had had a revelation. He had had a very strong dream, and he sketched on a piece of paper a drill. Now, John doesn't have drilling experience. He's not an engineer. His background's in finance. He didn't know what he was drawing, but he drew it out. He sketched it out.
Wow.
Well, the very next day, and this is where the not coincidence, but the true miracles start happening. BYU called us and asked John if he had a program that their engineering capstone students could work on. And John was dumbfounded. How did you get my number? What? He had forgotten about the inquiry into the brick making machine 2.5 months ago, but the students needed a program. And John said, well, I have this idea for this human powered well or drill. Do you want to do this? And he presented it to the group, and they were like, yeah, let us try it. So months and months went by, and it wasn't coming together. I mean, all kinds of CAD drawings. They were down to the last 2 weeks of the semester. It was crunch time. And John gave them his football pep talk, come on, guys, let's have a little more inspiration, a little more, let's do this. And anyways, the very next day, they presented John with a picture of this drill. And I got to tell you, Lori, it was emotional. It was completely emotional for John. It was the vision of his dream that he had had, this human powered drill. And
it went from waking up in the middle of the night with a vision to just a few short months later.
Yes.
Seeing it, the drawing on paper, it gives me chills, like seeing that.
Yes.
This is possibly going to happen. This is
going to happen. I know. And it happened. And I don't know, I'm going to turn you a little bit so you can see, but this right here, this is the picture of the drill, the first drill. We named it the Village Drill, and our neighborhood came together, Lori. Oh my gosh. They went all out and provided the funds necessary to send it off to Kenya to get it there so people could start having clean water. I mean, it was a party.
When did the first drill go in the ground? What year?
It was 2010. The first drill went into the ground in 2010.
2010. And
20,
now, from 2010 till now, so 10 years,
right?
you are in how many countries?
So we are in 36 countries. We have 103 drills and more going all the time. They
And
are,
the drills are unique because
yes,
the people in the village can operate it, right? Like
they're
it's
human
like a
powered,
hand crank, man powered. Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah,
so
they're
cool.
portable, they break down. We've seen people take them in the back of ox carts. We have video, they paddled them down the Congo for 3 days. Our drill into a community, and we're able to put in multiple wells. We
Wow.
boreholes is the correct term for the community, but we say wells. So I'm
Wow.
back and forth.
Okay, so how many people do you think now have access to clean water because of your 103 drills? It's hard to probably know that number, but can you estimate?
Well, BYU keeps statistics for us. And in 2019, 1.5 to 2 million people received clean water. So we're at over 6 million people now.
Wow. Okay.
It's amazing.
So it's totally amazing. So for us living in America and any developed country, we somewhat take water just for granted. Like we go turn the faucet on, we fill our cup, we drink it. But in countries where there's no access to clean water or they have to walk forever to get water that's most likely polluted,
Mhm.
what does this mean to people? Like I know girls, like once girls hit puberty, they pretty much can't go to school in Africa because then they're not clean. They have no way to clean
Right.
themselves if they don't have water. So that's one thing. But I mean, what does this mean to people and what opportunities come from it?
Well, I brought a little visual aid because I'm a teacher. So this is actual water from Africa. This is what it looks like in one watering hole. So this is what the
So
kids, and
that's the clean water.
this is the clean water that they'll collect. Yes.
Wow.
And it's mostly up to women and girls, and they'll walk up to 3 miles to collect this water. And because they're walking so far and multiple times per day, they're not able to go to school. They're not. And
And
they're
they're put
just,
at risk, right? Like when they're out walking and collecting, they're put at risk of
they really
raping.
are. You know, we had a trip last November to Uganda, and there was a really distraught a girl child, in our group when we were at an orphanage. And we asked her, "Why are you so upset?" And she had lost her mother to a crocodile as her mom was collecting her. I mean, how many of us worry about crocodiles when we go to get a drink of water? Or how many of us have to worry about, I mean, this is a hard truth, but sometimes they have to trade sex for water. It's a hard truth, but there are so many unspeakable dangers. And the water they're collecting has animal feces in it. You know, people are bathing in it. They're
Mhm.
drinking this water knowing that it's probably going to make them sick, but they don't have any other choice. They have to do this.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I brought one, I visual. So this is a jerry can, you know, this is what we saw everywhere in Africa. And it starts at about 40 pounds when it's filled with water. I mean, I look like a weakling if I try to lift this, but
Wow.
they carry these things on top of their heads, you know, and they start at the age of 4 and 5 with smaller bottles and work their way up, carrying these things on their head
Wow.
with this dirty, polluted water just so that their family can survive. Because
Wow.
you have to have water. We know that
Yeah.
you'll die if you don't have
I
water.
mean,
So
you can live so many days and maybe even weeks without food, but you can't live
you can't. By the
just a
fourth
few
day,
days without water, and
you'll
your
probably gone.
body's going to shut down. Yeah. I mean, so what opportunities, so that obviously the need for water is great in the world. I mean,
Yes.
necessity of life, and getting safe water, not just clean safe water, but to for the people to be physically safe when they're going to get their water is so important. But what other opportunities has this created, and does it create in these villages?
So we know that water is the baseline for everything. So with clean water, you have better health, you have crops that you can grow,
Mhm.
chickens that will lay more eggs, animals will give more births. You just have opportunities. I mean, when women are not collecting this water, they're developing businesses, they're expanding, it's the baseline for everything. It's just incredible. Um, Opportunities. I want to tell you a story. Is that okay?
Oh, please do. Please do.
So, an incredible example of an opportunity is David and Teresa Jingles. Now, they're good friends of yours and they're good friends of ours. And I mean, how we met is a whole story in itself about the butterfly effect. I mean, it literally took 12 people on their side and 12 people on our side to meet the same man, Joel Freeman, just to even connect in that regard.
Wow.
But we were able to go to Kenya in 2018 with David and Teresa. And it was my first trip that I had been with WHOlives. Um, we went there and we decided on the spur of a moment to go to a girls' school in Ngozi.
Wow.
And we made the 4-hour trip over bumpy roads to this girls' school. They didn't know we were coming. We get there and we ask, "What did you do with your well? What have you done with your water?" And they walk us out to a field of 10 acres of green crops everywhere.
Wow.
Teresa starts crying. I
Of
start
course she
crying.
does.
We're all crying because this is something that they made happen. Beautiful crops for the girls that they could sell to the community to buy, and in turn create opportunities, to buy school supplies. We interviewed the girls, and you can find this video on our YouTube page. The
Wow.
girls said, "This is the first time we've ever had a shower.
Wow.
First time ever. We're able to go to school. We don't have to make this long walk to get the dirty water anymore.
Well,
It's right here." It was
Teresa said
absolutely
you had her
incredible.
in tears, but I think you got me in tears too. Yeah, it's incredible. Just, oh my goodness, the things we take for granted, things we take for granted. And I mean, so John's vision, his
Right.
whisper, his whatever it was, someone said those are God whispers. How can a person who might have some kind of inspiration that they feel like is in their life, something they want to do, how can they turn it into good? Can you share an example of that?
Absolutely. There's a little more to this story because you feel like it's all puppies and
Oh no.
lollipops. After John had this and we created, the drill was created and it was sent to Africa, then it was on me. We have 6 kids. We're similar to the Jingles in that our anniversary is the same, June 27th.
Oh wow.
But we also felt the inspiration to go and adopt more kids. So we had 4. We went to Russia. We got a couple more, that are blessed our lives. But all of a sudden, I had to figure out, how am I going to provide insurance for our family? How am I going to raise these kids when my husband is gone from the home for more than 6 months out of the year?
Wow.
And I had to have it myself. I had to have my own inspiration, my own guidance. This is what we were supposed to do. And I went to work. And I know that you provide a wonderful workspace for ladies. And that's what I did. I went to work. And after 10 years of working in the library, having medical insurance and the necessary funds, now I'm here at WHOlives because I'm able to come on board and do this with John
Great.
and be part of this passion. But I mean, there's so many different ways we can take our good and whatever we're inspired to do to make it wonderful. I mean, just to be able to say to our kids and our grandkids, I'm helping to change the world.
Absolutely.
What an incredible legacy
And
we can
I think
leave.
the example that you're setting for so many people, for women, for your kids, for whatever, is that you didn't stop when it got hard. And I'm sure we could talk for a long time about the challenges and the hard things that you guys had to go through, but
Sure.
the people who don't quit are the people who win, and you're not just
Right.
winning for your family, you're winning for literally for the world, for 1 point however million people you said now have access to clean water. And You have something that's called a service learning program.
We
So what
do.
is that? And
Yes, thank you
how
for
would it help
asking.
me?
Well, our schools are different. They look different to us now. Some are homeschooling, some are doing virtual learning, some are doing in school learning. So last year we developed this service learning empathy development program. We call it SLED, and I was able to go into the schools and have assemblies. And if you ever want to experience excitement, have 1,000 kids cheering because they hear the Lion King song. Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
that's so
it's so awesome.
cute.
But we talk about empathy and the ability to walk in someone else's shoes.
Mhm.
And so I introduced them to kids from Africa, real kids. I have their real shoes, actually, they can see. Of course, they're worn out, they're covered in red clay. We talk about what their life's like as they collect the water. And then we role play. We talk about what we can do to help these kids.
Wow.
And man, these kids, they raise their hands as a commitment to join our Well Done team. And they want to give up like a soda in the drive through so that their parents can donate. All we ask is $5 a month because we know if 100 people donate $5 a month, we can get a well. A well
Wow.
is $5,000. It covers 1,000 people.
So
And
let's pause on that for a minute. A
okay,
well is $5,000.
right.
Some people who are going to watch this can just write a check for $5,000. They will. I mean, and some people will give $5 a month, and it's the amount of the gift is not important. I'm just calling out the people who are going to be watching this that can write a check for $5,000, and that well will cover how many people?
1,000 people.
A
A
thousand
thousand people.
people. 1,000 people can have water for $5,000. Okay,
So Lori,
we didn't even talk about talking about this,
we did. I know we're
but
running.
that's how my brain works. Okay, what can we do? Create a drive or an initiative in your neighborhood. Create a drive or initiative with your kids at their school. Like our kids right now, guys, and I'm gonna cry. They need something positive to focus on.
They
They
do.
need something besides masks and viruses and fear to focus on. They need to have this excitement for doing good in the world and knowing that's still a possibility. And that's what's going to change our world. That's what's going to make, Teresa says she's still in tears, making me cry too. That's what's going to make a difference in them.
Yes.
And it's going to make a difference in thousands of lives.
Yes.
So, okay.
So Lori, so this is the exciting part.
Yes.
So I've got a videographer. So we are putting this assembly online and it's going to be available for everybody to use as part of their family. We're also doing a Facebook challenge with families posting their picture. I'm in. We're part of it. We're giving up. We're doing extra chores, we're giving up a popcorn at the movies. Not that we're going to the movies anyways, but do you know what I'm saying? That they're in, and that's something that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks.
And what if you encouraged your child who is getting an allowance or something like that to give part of their allowance to the $5 a month? Let them physically take something that they've been given and give it. And then they're going to see your videos. They're going to see what they're doing. They're going to see the difference you're making. Like, I cannot wait to see your video program. That is going to be awesome.
It is so exciting because it's up to our kids. It's up to our kids. And we know that when you do something good for someone else, that you feel pretty darn good yourself. I mean, it's all that serotonin,
It does.
And that's it.
And
that's
what?
it.
Let's turn this back to health and wellness. When your serotonin's your immune system's healthier. So
it is.
We all need that right now.
We do.
Immune system.
Yeah.
So it's just a win-win for everybody. So
it really is.
What do people need to do to join the WHOlives community, this initiative? How can they get in touch with you, find out more information?
Well, first thing, go to our website, WHOlives.org. Who is an acronym for water, health, and opportunity. Because once you have water, you've got the health, And then we show these communities how to be self-sustainable. And so go to the website, sign up for the newsletter. Every Wednesday, I do a Water Wednesday email, and it's just full of positive messages. We're
Good.
very transparent. Like the one today, I'm showing you what communities are doing, how they're digging wells, and I'm showing you what back to school looks like for kids in Uganda. Now,
Wow.
these are things that we just received. It's so join our newsletter and get these Water Wednesday feel good emails. We do mobile texting, super easy. You can text the word drink to 71777 and join our community that way.
And will you
Drink.
type that into the comments when we're done?
Yeah, I'd love
perfect.
to. Sure.
Perfect.
Yeah. Super easy. Where's my water? Look at our YouTube page. There's so many wonderful videos.
You're picking up a clean glass of water with ice in it, of all things. Like, you know.
I know. Yep. We're so spoiled here. I tell you, I go to my fridge, clean water and ice.
We are.
Yeah.
Listen, I am so inspired, and people, I think, they get this idea in their head that to make a difference in the world, it has to be something huge. Right. Like you have to go out and do something that's just jaw-dropping huge. And it's not. It's $5 a month. $5 a month, you guys, and that is huge. That is going to change the world. That is going to get a well built. And I'm going to just challenge you the next time, because when we're done here, I'm going to go get a glass of water. But the next time you go fill up your water, the next time you run a bath for your kids, the next time you get in the shower, next time you wash your car or water your yard or fill up your swimming pool, right? Think about that water and how lucky you are to have it at the turn of a faucet right there in your home. And what it would mean to you if you didn't have it. Because I can tell you right now, with a hurricane coming to Texas, there will be people without water. Yeah. And they'll go without water for maybe a couple of days to a week or so. But imagine that being your entire life, your entire life without water.
Absolutely.
I honestly can't.
Absolutely. We just spoke yesterday to a gal that was telling us she saw kids licking mud. They were so thirsty, they were licking the mud. She's like, how do I keep doing this? You know what? It takes a village. It takes a community. It takes a lot of people with a big heart. But it's working. A little bit by little bit, we're eradicating that scarce and contaminated water issue. So, and thank you to you for hosting me. I'm sorry.
Again, thinking of a child licking mud for water, but I am going to sign off on that because I think I'm going to.
Okay. All right.
But Nicci, thank you so much. And you guys, please go to WHOlives.org and check it out. Give $5, give $5,000. I know there's somebody who's going to do that. And I want to hear who gives $5,000. I don't need to know who the person is if they don't want it, but I want to know when that $5,000 comes in, because I know it's going to happen. And I'm just so thankful to know you, the little that I do, and to be connected with you and to see just the amazing things that you guys are doing for this world. And there are still really good people out there.
There really are.
Yeah.
Lori, thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you in person.
Yes, me too.
I'll get a big hug, okay?
Absolutely. Have a great day, Nicci.
Thank you. You too.
Bye. See you.